up, Varla fans? Shawnyrick here with Angelina Rick, and we're going to go ahead and do an out-of-the-box experience for the Eagle One. Yes, there's several of these videos out there, but I haven't had a chance to do one yet, and I want to do it for the first-time riders, the ones that have purchased this and are like asking questions about, hey, what do I need to do first before I start riding this thing right out of the box? So that's exactly what we're going to go over. So let's get started. Before you even put the stem in, you want to get some WD-40 and you want to get some lubricant silicone. Now this is different than your WD-40. The WD-40 is to put on your lock stem clamp bolts, and then this is to put on the stem itself where the bracket goes. This will keep your bracket from rusting out, and it'll help it to stay locked in place using these two products together, and you'll never have an issue folding the clamps down around the stem or anything. I did a video of this with the first Eagle One that I had, and so you can just look at my YouTube channel to reference how to do it, but I'm going to show you again in this video where to do it. We're going to spray right here, a little bit of WD-40 there, and there, and there, and there, right off the bat. Then we're going to use the silicone spray. And we're going to spray all along the stem here and down below, just to lubricate it and make sure that it's all set up. Then what you do is you pull it straight. See how easier that thing slides down now? It's just to make such a huge difference. And then what you do is you're going to make sure it's loose enough, adjust this a little bit. So once you get that completely down, get it all the way down the notches, get sure it's seated properly down. And now as you notice, it won't go anywhere. Then what you have to do is you have to line it up with the screws right here. That's your center. Then you got to tighten it down just enough. You can just use your fingers for this to get it to where you want it nice and tight. And you have to kind of play with it. Okay, so that's close. We're close with the first one. Let's keep going. Keep going. And that looks like that's pretty good. Then you do the same thing with the second one. And then you push down on those a little bit, and look at that. Stable as can be, and because it's lubricated, you'll never have a problem with these like rusting out, and it'll always be easier to slide up and down, easier to clamp, and it just saves you time. The next thing you're gonna wanna do has to deal with your tires and inner tubes. A lot of people get flats, and they get flats because they don't prepare themselves correctly. Now, this is from the factory, so everything should be set up right out of the box. This is what you're gonna wanna do, is you buy Fix-A-Flat or tire fixer, but they're all the same. Fix-A-Flat or something like this is what you're gonna want. Then what you're gonna wanna do is check your tire pressure. So it's 45 PSI on the Eagle One here. I have electronic pump, lithium powered, works great for cars, scooters, motorcycles, all that. We're going to see where it's at pressure wise. Right now we're at 13 PSI. So we're gonna let the rest of the air out real quick. Not too much though, that's good. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the Fix-A-Flat on.
Can I do it?
Yep. And you don't want to overpressure it, of course, so we're just going to put a little bit of Fix-A-Flat in there and then check where it's at. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Okay, good. Stop. See if we got some pressure in there now. Looks like we do. And we're at 28, so that's perfect. So 28 is about good where you want it. Then you're going to fill it the rest of the way. But it's 45 PSI on these inner tubes. Now, you always go 5 PSI less. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust it to 40. And that's exactly where you want the PSI. So let's finish putting air in it. Boom, it stops right at 40, we're set. Let's let the air out of it real fast. Until it says 0, okay, it's at 0. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going. Okay, it's good, stop. Okay, then we're gonna check it again. We're at 23, we're perfect, okay. So then, we're about 20 PSI with Fix-A-Flat. We're gonna do it to 40 PSI. Okay, that's all set. Next thing you want to do is make sure that your hubcap bolts are nice and tight. So we got a 13/16 here that works just fine. Make sure it's tight, so tight. 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 And then the other thing that you want to check is you want to make sure that the back fender here is tight on the screws too. So, because this thing will flop around and break on you, tighten down just a little bit before you start riding. And you can use washers and replace these if the fender flops or breaks on you in transit. And if it does, there's other fenders you can get and purchase too. So once that's tightened down, you got your hubcap bolts tight and everything's good. You want to check your brakes, make sure your brake bolts are tight. And then we grab the Varla tool again. Tight. Okay, that's good, that's good. We're gonna check the bolts here. Tight, tight. Well now, once you've done all these things, you are good to go to ride it.